Stick to my question. How do you know they were your real parents?
Well, I had a DNA test that linked me to my mum. My dad, yeah, he was a soldier, could have been anyone, but I trust him because he was there my entire life.
So it's based on trust, but not empirical evidence, right?
Changing the subject. No, you're not changing the subject.
Abraham Lincoln was assassinated.
I've got no idea.
You've got no idea?
No.
Okay, so you're clueless.
I'm clueless about Abraham
Right,
Lincoln. Yeah.
okay.
My point is not that. My point is,
right.
you tell
So why
me,
should I take anything you say as reliable if you can't even agree?
This is backpedaling.
No, we have someone who can't even agree that Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Why? Because you weren't there.
Right, but then
So then we have
loads of people were there when JFK was assassinated.
Right.
Yet you can get 5 historians.
Right.
Very well
Okay.
leveled historians,
Right.
and they have 5 different
Right.
reasons
Right.
or beliefs and claims about
Right.
what happened, and that was only 50 years ago, and they're just as historian as your historians looking
Okay.
2,000
So
years
do you
ago.
believe-
And you have video, you
But
have
here's the
footage of
difference.
You have eyewitnesses who
So
are alive
here's the
today.
difference.
No difference.
So what I'm going on your
No
argument.
difference.
So you're saying you will believe something if you saw it.
No, it's not what I said. I said
Right.
that even though people saw it and filmed it,
Right.
nobody can say what happened. And it
Right.
was filmed, and there were 1,000 people who are 400 of them probably are still alive, and
Right.
still we don't know what happened exactly. We have historians giving different things.
So was he killed?
Yes, he was killed on
Right.
video. We watched it.
Okay.
We watched the film. There's a brutal film.
So
Have you
why
watched
do
the
you believe
Zapruder
he
film?
was killed?
Have you watched
I'm
the-
asking you, why do you believe he was
I don't
killed?
care.
That's not my
Don't
question.
care.
I didn't say whether you care. I said, do you believe he was killed?
I saw him killed
So is that why you believe he was killed?
because I saw him.
Right. So now, for example, we're going back to a time, for example, when there's no cameras. Do you believe Oliver Cromwell existed?
I don't, but I have no reason to believe he didn't, but I can't prove he did.
Okay. But you would say on a balance of probability based on
the
testimony.
balance of probability based on testimony and written history, and
Right.
history that was written about him actually as he was alive,
Okay.
living history.
Right.
There is lots of that. So
Now-
I have no reason to disbelieve
Okay.
that he died. And
So let's go
because of
even
that.
further back. Do you believe Socrates existed?
No.
You don't believe so?
No, I think all of those Greek ones
So you-
could well have been. There is absolutely no proof that Socrates was alive.
So do you believe that Julius Caesar existed?
There has been loads of Julius Caesar. As the
The
Holy Roman Emperor.
Yeah.
But on the balance of probability, yes, again,
Right.
because living history was written around him
Right.
while he was alive.
Now, let me.
Are you filming this?
You've defeated your own point. Are you aware that from the time of antiquity, the evidence for Jesus is closer to Jesus than it is for Julius Caesar? And you've just now said that you believed in Julius Caesar.
I didn't say that. Did I say?
You believe. You said you believed he existed.
No, I said I have no reason to believe he didn't exist.
Okay.
That's a different
Do you have
statement
evidence to
completely.
believe Jesus didn't exist?
Yeshua existed, that's
Right.
why.
Do you have reason
have
to
no
believe?
reason to believe
Do you
no.
have reason to believe that Jesus wasn't
was
crucified?
Made up name
I
made
have
by
the fact that 20 years after his death, Pontius Pilate couldn't
King
perform.
James and his scholars.
That's not good. Let's go back again because now you're trying to make excuses. Okay, let's address that claim. You said Pontius Pilate couldn't recall him. What's your evidence for that?
It's written somewhere.
So where?
I don't know. but
In
it's
what?
written In a.
That's a made up claim. That's why I'm asking you. Where did you get that
How
claim
do you know
from?
it's made up claim?
Good.
How
Because
can you
there
say
is.
it's a made-up claim?
You've just made it up on the spot. That's why I'm asking for your source. What is the source of that claim?
How would I know? I read so many things.
So you can't provide any source
I can't tell
or
you
any
that
evidence.
source is 100%.
I'm telling you it's fabricated.
By the
If you say it's
artist.
fabricated,
Right.
then you're
So if it's
artist
fabricated,
is
my
the
question
by
again
artist.
is: do you have any evidence to believe that Jesus wasn't crucified?
No, not really.
Yeshua.
Right. So now,
Because they crucified just about
is a
everybody.
man-made.
right.
They didn't
So,
have a
so
crucifixion.
now, if Jesus was crucified,
Crucified
and we
wasn't
know
a
that
cross,
he had
they just nailed them to
disciples,
trees and stuff.
now let's go back.
They didn't put crosses
So
on.
now
They
your
stuck them
argument
on
is
trees.
crumbling because now what I'm trying to do is remove the reasons why you have for objection. Because you said you had no reason to believe that Julius Caesar didn't exist based on the evidence that is available.
Like living history.
Okay, you
When was that living history? So if I show you a quote that says the evidence for Jesus is closer to the time and better preserved than the evidence for Julius Caesar, would you then,
No, because I need to see the evidence and read it and weigh it against other evidence.
right, so if I give you evidence, for example, you have the Gospels.
I'm not going to take
Gospel.
evidence from the gospel.
Why?
Because it's nonsense.
Why?
Because it's not a history book, it's a fantasy book.
Right.
Give me, there are, Jesus lived during the Roman Empire. The
Right.
Roman Empire was a massive bureaucracy that recorded just about everything, right? So Julius Caesar would have had a living history being recorded in Latin
Right.
while he was alive about his edicts and what he did. And that survives to this day, a lot of that, right? So we have that. You don't have any of that about...
We have the
your
testimony
man.
from
we do.
the... We have the testimony.
Shall I show it to you? Right in front of you.
Written, living history written while
right.
he was alive.
What country are you from? Where were you born?
Born in England.
What? From England. Are you English?
Yes.
So tell me what makes English people English? Or
What a stupid
no.
question.
Hold on.
I'm not here to answer stupid questions.
Hold on. No, it's not a stupid question.
Yeah, but he's going somewhere.
I'm going somewhere.
Given a courtesy.
What defines? I just showed you a while ago. What defines?
David, you've been told.
I did. No. I'm showing you. This is a proof.
Proof.
What's that?
Cross of St. George.
Cross of what? Problem. Because you don't understand your
I
own.
don't care about flag.
What
Who cares about a
Because
flag?
the flag represents
No, it
Christ.
doesn't.
It represents Christ, the Red Cross. Come on, man.
Nonsense.
Look, it's on the Union Jack.
Are you English?
I am English.
Where were you born?
I was born in North London.
Whereabouts?
Wilsden.
Willesden.
Park Royal Hospital. Birth certificate and all. Mother and father on it.
My brother was born in Park.
All right. So we have some connection. Right.
So now let
This
me.
is nonsense. This is just because
Okay,
the
I have
head of a country
I have a
is
question for
religion,
you. I have a question.
I'm not a
My
you
friend,
need to believe,
let's come back to the
You need to
conversation.
believe.
My friend,
Go on, sir.
what's your name, sir?
John.
John. Nice to meet you, John.
Hey.
So, for example, are your parents still alive?
No, they're both dead.
How do you know?
Because I killed them.
You killed them. But how do you know they were your parents?
This is just,
No. Because what I'm trying to highlight to you,
you're going down a metaphysical
you
rabbit
see,
hole to try and dig
you
yourself
see,
out of something.
because stick to my question. How do you know they were your real parents?
Well, I had a DNA test that linked me to my mum. My dad, yeah, he was a soldier, could have been anyone, but I trust him because he was there my entire life.
so it's based on trust, but not empirical evidence, right?
This is just a ridiculous...
No, because I'm using your line of
If you
reasoning.
brought this up in a courtroom, a judge would...
Because no one would make the absurd claims that you did.
This in a courtroom.
Of course I could.
couldn't.
What is evidence? What is courts based on?
It's based on
Evidence.
Yeah,
On evidence.
Yes.
Have I asked you for evidence that your father, that you believe, is your father?
In a way, yes.
So I could bring that to a court of law.
Yes, but if I could answer that, how would I answer that? I would answer
But your
that by
first
birth, my
claim,
name on birth
your
certificate.
claim,
I could have a DNA.
but that
check
doesn't
on
prove
the
that
birth-
he's his father.
No, but then,
How? Could his mother have lied?
Then the only thing that would do is
Could
a
his
DNA
mother have
test.
lied
We've only had
on the
DNA
birth
tests for
certificate?
30 years, so what's the point
Right,
of your question?
because his point is, unless you witness something, you cannot be certain that it's true.
No,
That's
not,
why I'm
no.
right.
That's
So
not
what
I said.
what is your claim then?
I said if something isn't documented within a living history.
Right.
So when my parents
Right.
met, there's a living history. All the people that know them knew them and knew that they were together. When they got married, all those people were there at the marriage.
Were they there when you were
I was
conceived?
born, they weren't there when I was conceived.
But that's the whole point. That's where your argument
we all
breaks
have
down.
our father's eyes, right?
Huh?
Do we all have our father's eyes?
There's people who have children with other people who people believe have that person's eyes,
No.
but it's not their actual biological parents.
We have our father's eyes, right?
No.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. Where did you get that claim from?
Out of a medical.
So every single person has their father's eyes.
Usually, yeah. Not most
Usually,
of the time, yeah.
usually. You said it was all the time. Now you're saying usually.
Well, so you can't have absolute proof for everything. So
But
what's
that's
your
my point.
Yeah, okay.
But he wants
Because
that because
when we're talking about
if we
this started
discount
with
that, he can bring Jesus and the
because the argument started with the evidence for Christ.
That's what
If
he's
we
trying to
have
build a case
if we
for.
have testimonies from the disciples, we have written works from the time. He's saying we cannot. He's saying we.
Time you don't have from the
Don't have
time.
from the
What-
time we've been through this already. It's a minimum of 30 years later,
Right.
probably 50
Right.
years later, when the first book
200.
even started.
Okay.
The
Wait.
first book even started. 30 to 50 years before
Wait.
they were even started.
Okay.
Forget the
Wait.
Council of Nicaea,
Wait.
which you
No.
won't bring up
Okay.
at all.
No
He said.
eyewitness here.
He said we don't have evidence from the time. Let's see what. We go to the book of Luke, right?
The book of Luke
Who's
isn't
Luke?
evidence.
Wait.
It wasn't
Let me
written.
provide my
By
evidence.
Luke was
Let me provide my
Luke wasn't there,
evidence.
it's 50
Wait.
years
Let me
later, 30 years
let me
later.
provide my evidence.
That's not evidence.
Let me provide, let's see what it says. It says, inasmuch as we have undertaken to compile a narrative of things that have been accomplished amongst us just as those who from the beginning were eyewitnesses and ministers of the word have delivered them to us. It seemed good to me, having followed all these things closely for some time past, to write an orderly account for you, the most excellent Theophilus, that you may have certainty concerning the things you have been taught. So we have here a statement saying, from the beginning were eyewitnesses and ministers of the word have delivered them to us.
No. What he's saying,
Right.
What Luke is saying there is, I have it on authority, and I believe that there were witnesses to it.
No, that's not what he's
That's
saying.
What he's saying.
No.
And therefore,
No.
Therefore, I have no reason to disbelieve those
No.
statements.
Let me clarify what he says, because you've taken out of context what he said. He said, it seemed good to me also, having followed all things closely for some time past, to write an orderly account for you, most excellent Theophilus.
Yes.
So he's saying this has been in liaison with eyewitnesses, yes?
No, that's not what he said there. He said there are eyewitnesses, and he's looked into it. He says nothing about him speaking to those eyewitnesses. He said he just mentions that there were eyewitnesses, and that he looked at the subject. He was a historian of his time, the same, and he was looking back at a piece of
So
history.
he's claiming
and he
to
was
be.
saying, my research says this.
So he's saying, claiming to be a historian,
Yes, he claims.
collecting the accounts of eyewitnesses.
Claims.
Right, you said it wasn't from the time. He's making a statement saying he's making an account from eyewitnesses, which was my statement to you.
No, he hasn't said. Read it again. He said that there were. He didn't say he's consulted eyewitnesses. He said there were eyewitnesses. He's at no point in that does he say he had any contact with the eyewitnesses. Just that his belief and his research led him to have no doubt about those eyewitnesses. It doesn't say anything about he met them, because he couldn't have met them.
That's an interesting subject, to be honest.
Couldn't have met them.
I would say to you, if that was something that was like purely revealed by God, that you would not expect to have this kind of things.
Why?
No.
Why?
Definitely.
Why?
Because, like he says at the beginning of this chapter,
Yes.
you see many have undertaken to compile a narrative about the events that have been fulfilled among us, just as the original witness and servants of the word handed down to us.
Right.
Also, it seems good to me, since I have carefully investigated everything.
Right.
So, investigating.
What does
carefully-
investigate? What does investigate entail?
Investigating
We don't know.
means
It can be. It depends what you're investigating.
all
and when.
witnesses shall you come. All the narratives.
All the people who talk
Can you
to people
bring
who
me
said
all
they
your
were
witnesses?
Would you substantiate an investigation, or would you just write any claim?
No, you would try and substantiate
Right.
as best you can.
Right.
But that doesn't
As-
make it completely 100%
Exactly
true.
like he said. Investigate everything
Yeah.
carefully.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
So what would? So
I mean, it's
carefully
clear.
would mean interrogating the eyewitnesses as well.
No, not necessarily, because if the eyewitnesses weren't available, it would mean tracking down maybe people who knew the eyewitnesses.
Which would
their
be the
surviving
apostles.
Family. No, it would mean maybe their family or people who have come on.
But when you read the book of Luke, it gives the that's why it gives details,
give names of all the
Yeah, but I would
eyewitnesses?
say if you would expect, I know actually the Christian belief generally,
Yes.
but I would say when you take these statements, that's purely someone, and I'm not denying it. I'm not even saying that what has been said in the Gospels are not 100% the truth from Jesus.
Right.
But I'm saying as well that I don't know if it's 100% from Jesus.
Right.
Why? Because as a Muslim, we have as well the Hadith, which we believe being a collection of sayings about the Prophet.
Right.
And like you know,
They
by
come hundreds
says,
of years later.
Obviously, we have
Right.
one transmission. And then you have 10 transmission of others.
But at least-
There's a kind of thinking about the transmissions.
Right. So are you a
And-
Muslim?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so I don't want to divert, but in terms of, we'll stick to the gospel.
Like I would say to you, for example, the Hadith Ahad,
Yes.
having a single chain of transmission,
Yes.
this one I would not using for belief,
Right.
or I would not using for something specific, because
Right.
that's so singular.
Right, but this is a difference. The hadiths were written down 200 years later, for example, by people like Bukhari. You might want to join our historical conversation.